Hey folks, Mad Rabbit here, back in Skyrim Roleplay, and we're going to have an episode a little different than usual, mainly because of a little problem that I ran into when I shot a very large sequence of videos here. I forgot to turn the audio on this particular sequence, and it would have ended up being probably about an episode and a half, maybe 2 episodes, maybe. So I'm gonna have to come in here and probably sort of like semi-narrate a little bit and explain what happened during the episode. I talked to the Khajiit outside of Riften. Talked to this guy Carjo, who is he's hireable. I don't know if he's actually hireable, but you can actually get him as a companion or a follower, whatever you want to call it. If you do his quest, which is what I did first here. I talked to him. I had been talking for a while about getting another companion. I think it would liven the show up a little bit if I had somebody that Malryn could talk to every once in a while. And I figured a Khajiit would be kind of apropos. And I was looking at a few on the Skyrim wiki. And I just like this guy, just the look of him. And just some of his skill set and stuff that they were explaining. So the plan is, and you won't see it in this episode, is to actually do his quest at some point and get him as a companion, and probably get some nice equipment for him and stuff along the way. I've been looking a little bit here and there, but yeah, I ended up going into Riften. I forgot what my original purpose was here. There was another Khajiit, this time a female, waiting for me, and in a little bit here you'll see that I was trying to talk to her, but she was sort of new to town. I never saw her before, and I don't remember ever seeing her on any other playthroughs I've had of this game. So I decided to pick her pocket. I had a sneaky suspicion maybe there'd be something on her that explained her story, and there was. And if you read this, it almost sounds like it might be the Dark Brotherhood that sent her to assassinate me, or an attempt to assassinate me, my character. But it doesn't actually say the Dark Brotherhood, so I don't really know if it's them or not. But considering that there's been a few attempts on Malryn's life, and he's picked notes off of the bodies that basically said they were from the Dark Brotherhood, that I had been debating for a while whether I'm going to do that storyline. I think from a role-playing point of view, it would fit his character, but I'm not going to do it, probably. And I did finally turn in, also on this time, with Battlemage here. The fire salts. I finally got enough, mostly from, well, several episodes now of going to different alchemists and stuff to pick some up. And I kept running into her. She kept wandering around town, kind of looking and staring at me and hissing at me when I got close. I kind of wish I did have the audio for this. It was pretty weird. She was kind of freaky. Then I talked to him, Madison, the jeweler here, and I knew he had a quest, and I just decided to grab it up. And I happened to have, there were 3 things he needed. And I actually happened to have the gold ore on me. And I think, not in this episode, maybe an episode or 2 from now, I think I get the second part with some sort of mammoth tusk or something. So you may see that in the next episode or something like that. I can't remember which episode I get it, but yeah, I think the plan is long term is that I'm not going to do the Dark Brotherhood storyline now, or if I do, it would be something I do off air with Malryn in between seasons. And what I'm saying now, in between seasons, is at some point here, I think I'm going to stop shooting episodes for a little while and maybe just take a break for myself. You may not see a break in the episodes. I may end up just taking a couple weeks off, and I may have actually enough episodes saved up to that where you might actually see this, but it won't be as long a break as between season 1 and 2. I do promise you that. And there'll be some changes because I got this new headset microphone. I can get the audio in-game working at the same time I can do the voiceover, so it's going to be a completely different style. I'm figuring on calling it a season 3. You see here I went to the Thieves Guild, I noticed there's now a statue of Nocturnal in there, and I talked to Viper again, got some training, and you actually talk to Nocturnal's little thing here, and you can kind of get cleansed from diseases and get her blessing or something like that too here, kind of like any other shrine in Skyrim. So that was a new addition ever since I finished the storyline here. But I tried talking to Brynjolf, and he won't really talk to me yet. I think I have to do some more of the Thieves Guild side missions that you get from Vex and Delvin, which I'm going to be doing off air also in between seasons, a lot of those. I did do some, and I think that you'll see, I think, not this episode, but maybe 1 or 2 episodes from now, I did shoot one, because I got a special one in the midst of that, of doing some of those side missions where there's actually a storyline. So I will come back to that, so I don't want to tell you what it is. So if you remember last episode, the very end, we found out that the name of the person that Delphine knows from the Blades is named Esbern. We're talking to the guy in the Ragged Flagon itself. They said track down Esbern in the Ratway. So we had to come this way anyway to do that. This guy happens to know, Beckel, he happens to know Esbern's down further in the Ratway and that the Thalmar are after him. So most of the rest of this episode, and I was really saddened by this, it's part of the main storyline, the main quest in the game. So this is what really upset me, by the fact that I lost the audio on this, or actually never had it to begin with. So that is upsetting to me, because you do lose a little bit here, because there is some storyline. You see here, I fight my way and sneak my way through some of the Thalmor that are on the way to his yeah, I don't do too good sneaking either. On his way to his cell further below. So I find my way through a few of them on the way down to find Esbern. He's an older man. He's kind of like in a section of the Ratway where there's a bunch of crazy people that isolated themselves. And he does kind of talk to, towards the end of this footage here, when I bring him back to Delphine and Riverwood. There is some important dialogue there from the main storyline, so you might want to actually listen, or actually I can't listen, but read some of the dialogue between him and Delphine and myself, and it's pretty important to it. It's like if you haven't played the game before, the main storyline before, it's pretty important to it. I imagine most of the people probably have played the main storyline if they're watching this, but other than the Thalmor down here, wasn't much to encounter, other than just, the encounters, and we found one of the traders that had mentioned that to the Thalmor. We find him down here too. He had a note on his body. He was the one that ratted out Esbern to the Thalmor to begin with, so we end up killing him, I think, at some point here. I think it's after you meet Esbern. Yeah, this is the room. We talked to one crazy lady here at the beginning, on the bottom level, and some other crazy guy kind of goes and attacks you or something here too. They broke in. Yeah, I think she's blind. She gets mad at me, but then she just starts running. She doesn't actually ever attack. Then this guy just goes crazy and attacks. I just kill him. So a lot of the people here are crazy. Listen to this guy. This one's pretty funny too if you read these. So, yeah. I'm going to go back to that and read that, but that's pretty good. Some of the crazy dudes down here. So she just runs around for a while, and after a while, once Esbern officially kind of joins me as a companion, she falls down, he attacks her because, well, she's considered to be aggroed on me, so he attacks anything that, so at this part here, some of it's sort of important, to read it, but, yeah, so I'm hoping that, I forget the Khajiit's name now. I'll probably get to know it soon, soon enough. But I think it's Carjo or something like that. Yeah, so that'll sort of be the ending point of this season when I get him to join up and do that quest, but I progressed the main storyline along here too quite a bit, as well as the Greybeard part of it too. Mainly because in case I want to actually end the series at some point, and I would maybe just come back for season 3 and do a short season and just end it. There's still quite a bit of the main storyline to go. Mainly because we just have not gotten the viewership on this series. I really enjoy doing it though. I didn't enjoy the editing stuff that I'm doing right now. This stuff here where because I couldn't get both audio streams from the game and my voice at the same time, it was a very difficult task to do the voiceover at the same time. But season 3 should be a change from that. So it should be easier for the editing phase for me. But not that you guys care about any of that stuff, but I'm just saying it was a lot of work for me to do all that stuff. So okay, here's Thalmar. Esbern helps you out. I think he's invincible on this because he gets hit a few times and doesn't really get hurt or nothing. And I think he attacks the blind woman. And at some point here, you also run into the guy that sold you out to the Thalmar. Wait, I'm not sure where he is. Oh, that was him, I think. Where'd he go? Oh, it's more Thalmar. Okay, well maybe that was in the other area. Oh, there he is. Yeah, you fall on him and you read the note that he basically sold him out. You'll see that in a minute. There it is. Just pause it if you want to read that. But yeah, so he sold him out. So we got rid of him. Esbern rejoins you. Basically, just make my way back to the flag and out. And I just go right to Riverwood. I cut out some of the footage on this. I didn't really want. And I had enough footage here for about 40 minutes worth of talking, but I really could only just talk so much about like doing a summary episode like this. So I do apologize. It's been the only kind of only the only episode we've had this season like this though. So yeah, so I bring him into the Delphine. And that's about it. You'll see here in a minute some pretty important dialogue going on back and forth once we get downstairs in her little area. And I actually think I sped the footage up, but not as much. So you should be able to follow along on this. I'll actually be quiet for a little bit. How's that? I'll just shut up and let you read this stuff. One thing I would like to note, I was reading the wiki regarding this companion, the Khajiit. Somehow or another you can get certain companions that join the Blades. So if I were to dismiss the companion instead of going back to the Khajiit caravan, he would actually go back to the Blades, where we're going to be going, I think, soon here. I'm not sure. It's not going to be done this season, obviously, but this this place that Esbern wants you to go, I can't remember if it's here or the next place after. But I did play through the main storyline before, so obviously I know what's coming up. So I've not actually had a companion before I ever joined the Blades, so I don't really know how that works. But it should make finding him, if I let him go, a little bit easier, because I might have to let him go when I do some of these Thieves Guild quests. Alright, adios folks.